All right, welcome everyone to another edition of the West Coast Trios Wrestling Podcast. My name is Tony. To my right, we got the California Rattlesnake. How we doing today, Callie?
What's up, y'all? How's it doing? How's everyone doing?
Welcome, welcome. And then we got to my left, Mondo. How we doing today, sir?
Good. Touched it out my backyard. Got artificial grass there. I need to exercise big time. My knees are failing me.
Is that an Aurora Borealis right behind you?
No, mother. Everything's fine. Just the northern lights.
Little Simpsons reference right there. I just caught my eye. Little nice. That looks nice. But welcome everybody. It's another edition here. It's been a good minute since we've been on. I know that life kind of takes up a little bit of our time too. So, but doesn't take away from the fact that we actually do watch wrestling on the side. And just want to go over some quick matches that occurred in the WWE side, and then we're gonna touch up on AAA. They had their big event this past Saturday. Miguel will be touching up on that, and then Mondonium will be talking about AEW and touch on what matches occurred, and then we'll get into a round robin of any takeaways that we had from the various shows. So let's get into it real quick. Just run down Monday Night Raw this past Monday that occurred. We had Penta defeating Javon Evans for the IC title. A really good match. We had a tag team of Bailey and Lyra Valkyria defeating Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. Seth freaking Rollins defeated Montez Ford on a one-on-one matchup. And then we have Rey Mysterio defeating Rusev. And with that being said, Rey Mysterio ended up getting a title shot for the IC title against Penta later on. And that was their Monday Night Raw matches that occurred. SmackDown, real quick to give you guys up to speed. Jade Cargill defeated Alexa Bliss. We had Axiom defeat The Miz. The MFTs defeated Damian Priest and Royce Keys. And then Sami Zayn defeated Matt Cardona in a one-on-one battle. And then we had a double countout. Haven't seen those in a while between Carmelo Hayes and Ricky Saints. And then lastly, in the main event, we had Chelsea Green defeating Nia Jax. Which brings us to Clash in Italy. We had WWE's PLE occurred today in the morning as of this recording. We had Cody defeating Gunther, Rhea Ripley defeating Jade Cargill for the title, Brock Lesnar defeating Oba Femi, and then we had Sol Ruka defeating Becky Lynch to become the new women's IC champion. And then lastly, we have Roman Reigns defeating Jacob Fatu in a tribal combat match. Biggest takeaways for Clash in Italy over here. I think a couple of them leading up to Clash in Italy. Well, Brock Lesnar, is still a big box office attraction. Defeated Oba Femi. You got your walk right there, Callie. We saw the importance of Brock Lesnar and what he brings to the table as a superstar, as somebody that we thought that, hey, this guy was gonna retire, and then he comes back and out of nowhere, attacks Oba Femi on Monday Night Raw, and then here we are at Clash in Italy, and essentially gets his revenge. Like that was really big there. And then another takeaway here, Sol Ruka, just having no sense of in terms of not having no wins, getting the opportunity and actually defeat Becky Lynch for her first title, and actually become the women's champion. And then overall, I think the other big takeaway was what's going to happen with Jacob Fatu, right? So, Callie, I'm gonna get your opinion. What did you get out of the Clash in Italy today? What were your takeaways?
There was a lot of great points. Those are a lot of good touching points that you touched on. I do want to say, first of all, what's gonna go on with the whole Brock and Oba segment.
Yeah,
he just came out the gate gunning and running for Oba. Oba just didn't really know what was going on. There was times where you could tell I guess they were both battling like each other's physique, like, oh, I can't believe he's getting up, or oh, I can't believe he just did that to me, but uh it was just an absolute just one way speed for Brock today. And so I'm super excited to see what's gonna go on for the rest of the summer and that storyline now, because obviously we had thought he was done and now he's back. So we'll see what happens with that. Fatu and the Roman Reigns, the tribal chief defeated his cousin. So we seen his cousin fall in line walking with him. Does that mean he's gonna listen or he's gonna run wild? Right? Yeah, exactly. Right. Does that mean he's gonna listen or does that mean it's just he's gonna run wild? So we're definitely gonna have to see what happens with that. In terms of Sol Ruka and Becky Lynch, I'll pass that to our other tag team partner, Mondo. Mondo, what were your thoughts about that?
Thanks, man. And wow, it's like saying you can have the worst team in all of sports, and hey, you're in the Super Bowl. Oh, if you win, great. We don't care about wins or losses here. It's just like make it make sense, WWE. I mean,
Here's my
come
thing.
on.
Where do you guys think that comes from though? Where do you guys think that
Bad booking and bad storytelling. You can't have a loser be a winner overnight. I mean,
I think you can. I think you can. If
you
you
can't, man.
remember, do
That's.
you remember Carlito in his debut? Who did he beat? Who did he
But
beat
it's
on
not a
his first?
debut. It's don't get those twisted. It's not a debut.
But
She had
still,
matches. Carlitos didn't. Carlito came in and he was given the opportunity. It was right.
yeah, he was giving the
Yeah.
opportunity to everybody. So he came in,
He
but
came
he
out, but
didn't
that's
win. He didn't
totally
lose.
different. Totally different. He wasn't there for a few months or like under a month taking losses and like, hey buddy, come in. I would understand if he was there a month or less and taking losses, but come on, that
now
does not make sense.
now now
That's totally different.
now
That's totally
now
different than saying I have an open challenge because that's what it was. This was not an open challenge. She did something and she just
mm, mm,
asked for the opportunity and she got it. Like
so I was gonna say, so I think she's been with NXT, or I guess let's just say with like the universe, right, for about 4 years. That I may be wrong. Does that kind of change anything for you in terms
no,
of
it's a different roster.
and again, I'm not saying you're wrong, right? I'm just
No,
asking you
I know, but it's a
because
good conversation because
because
it's like we're trying to legitimize like why they did what they did, and it's just like for me, it doesn't make any sense
I
because
think
I
it
can
does.
say I'm Owen Infinity. It's like having Barry Horowitz, reference there, everybody, becoming
John
the
was back
world
in.
champ. Like the guy has no wins his entire lifetime, and all of a sudden, let me get on the mic and let me force you to give me an opportunity. It's like
Well,
then you might as well have everybody just get a title shot.
that's
But
the thing. But that goes into play with what the character that Becky Lynch is now. She's a crybaby. She's I think that she always talks about herself and kind of puts herself out there like, oh, look at this, I'm this, I'm that. But then she hates the fact that somebody who almost had her, it didn't really,
it didn't.
she almost
Almost
had
isn't
her.
like having her. So why even give her a shot? That to me it doesn't play well in storytelling or oh let's be sympathetic to her plight. Then she might as well join the John Cena fan club or that tournament and they'll call her in. She'll be a winner there too. It's like to me, honestly, guys, that didn't make any sense to me. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth because it's like, well, what are you trying to say regarding
I
your
think
wrestler?
that
I'm sorry, not wrestlers. Let's keep it like they say. What does that say about your superstars?
it gives Becky
It
Lynch
doesn't.
another opportunity. Yeah, it does. It gets because I'll
I
bet you
think you're
$100.
mixing up
I bet you.
opportunity and records. I'm talking
I
about win losses. You're talking about opportunities. I'm saying it doesn't justify her being a quote unquote loser to get a title shot and win. It's like 0-4, I made it to the playoffs. 0-4, I'm in the championship. To me, that does not make sense, but it is what it is. Whatever. If
yeah,
you guys feel entertained
the
about
story.
that's great. That's great. To me, it's just make it make sense. To me,
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
I think they
That
will
doesn't
and
work.
they are. And I think that Becky Lynch is gonna be crying about it. I think she's gonna, you know, be upset and have her ego, her bubble bursted, in a sense that she couldn't beat a rookie, that she got off, she got lucky, right? That she got lucky that she's a champion now. So the story, I think, is going to probably be her trying to get back her title and say, "Oh, you just lucked out. You're a nobody." Because in Becky's eyes, I think she's still a loser. So Ruka's still a loser in Becky's eyes. Maybe in not our eyes, because
My eyes, she is a loser. I'm with Becky on this one, dude. Well, we'll see how it goes. We'll see if they can do what you're saying and
Yeah.
try to build up something. But for me, that just, I don't know. As somebody who wants to see somebody earn their way to the top instead of just not really taking any wins out of this whole thing. So yeah, we're clearly divided, but yeah, it is what it is. That's
Yeah,
their
I
way
think
of that's
I
their way of
mean,
doing
I,
things.
I get the whole, like, wins and losses, because they do it at AEW. They talk about wins and losses over there, but like, I get
They
it.
do
Like,
it
you gotta earn it. You gotta earn it,
else.
regardless. You just don't gotta earn it.
Yeah, regardless, they do it
You
everywhere
gotta
else.
earn it. But yeah, it just
Even in
we didn't talk
NXT,
about Saturday night's main event.
they do care about wins and losses. I don't get why this magical roster they don't believe in that, but that's fine. To me, that's cool. That's the way
You wanted to go
they
into the Homer section, right?
yeah.
So Mystical wild
Mystical
animal.
powers.
It's a pig.
But yeah, it's okay. It's like it is what it is, man. Everybody has their opinions, but for me, it was just like
But I mean,
good match though. I will give him this. It was a
yeah,
good match.
it
It
was
was
a
a
good
good
match,
match.
that Clash in Italy.
Mhm.
Miguel,
Most of them, they were all bangers, dude. So
how do you, well, we got Amando's opinion, like, now that this whole match happened. How do you feel, Miguel, about Sol Ruca actually defending the title now, and actually possibly in a winning streak, or maybe end up losing it, back to Becky Lynch? What do you think about Sol Ruca just being the champion right now?
Well, we've definitely seen instances where champions lose their belt almost immediately, right? So that's not off the table. The question, not the question, but I guess to go back to what Manda was saying is that, okay, if she didn't earn it how other champions have earned it, then certainly you better put on the run of your life to show everyone, okay, those are the ingredients that we didn't see, but now we see. But until then, I I I'm torn too, because I love to see new opportunities,
Yeah,
but also not at this expense.
yeah, got it.
There's way more other valuable superstars that deserve that. Not that, or at least a shot.
But let me ask you. So, I know, totally different companies, totally different champions, but in the terms of being a defending champion, we saw that with Darby Allin as the champion. And what did he do? Every single show, he was out there busting his ass. He was putting himself on the line while we had the title on the line for AEW, and defended that really well up until, obviously, he ran into the brick wall that's MJF. But, like, for Sol Ruca, do you feel like she would have to do, to your point, Miguel, have to do the same thing too, and be a defending champion each and every Monday Night Raw, to show that, hey, I can, run with the best?
Here's my thing. Uh, okay, absolutely, she has to, but it cannot be at the expense of what's her finisher called? The Soul Snatcher?
Yeah,
Okay. It can't be at the expense of the Soul Snatcher every single defense. Uh, we've been seeing this since NXT, and I get that that's her finisher, but let's go back to the 90s, late 90s of WWE.
mm-hmm.
Every time Stone Cold came out, if you guys remember, do you guys remember saying, okay, we're gonna see a stunner tonight? No, it was kind of like we were, oh man, we hope he stunned someone tonight. But
Yeah,
sometimes he didn't. Sometimes, and you know what that was called? Him being a masterful person of restraint, of learning when to do his finish and when not to. But with Sol Ruca, I feel like we're seeing her do her finish so much and so frequent that do you have other arsenal moves in your bag that is gonna help you defend this title week in and week out? Because we've just seen two different ways that people can combat her soul snatcher, right?
I think Mondo mentioned it already one
Get out
time.
of the way.
I think if
I
you
mean,
pull a Samoa Joe, right? You put a just get the hell out of the way and
Or
then
Io
she'll
Sky,
what the
just
hell? She'll
you
miss
know.
it.
and
That's one.
I'm telling you, sooner or later, champions. And again, I'm not saying nothing against her, man. This is why this is tough because I'm not a wrestler or anything, but
Yeah.
I just feel like when you're a champion, you have to be prepared and just be firing on all cylinders. And she just came up, and I would have loved for her to spend another year just redefining her style and kind of just creating those storylines, right? Rather than some of these chopped up real quick storylines that we've been getting since WrestleMania.
So do you think maybe Mondo, you could probably answer this. Do you think it's too soon? It was way too soon to put this belt on her. And again, you want to move forward with youth, and we've been seeing a lot on AEW where we see this. I mean, MJF said it himself. He's under 30, or at least 30 years old and under, or at least under 30 years old. He's a triple champion already, and you're seeing it. There's a good blend in AEW between the young up and comers, these guys that are very hungry, and then you got your veterans and then your AEW originals there that all mesh together. WWE, I think, in a sense, is trying to, to Miguel's point when he was talking about, a few episodes ago, that youth, that newness that he wants to see, the storytelling. But then, this is a new story that they put the belt on Sol Ruka. But at the same time, do you think it was way too soon?
It just seems that I don't know what the hell they're doing. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
probably the best answer. I mean,
Okay.
I honestly feel the same way. Like, I don't feel happy and I don't feel negative about it. I just feel like, bro, what are we doing? Like, that's it. Just what are we doing, man? Because like,
Yeah, it
I
just
don't want to
feels
keep going in circles, but just like Mondo said, I, I mean, you were just over here putting in work, and no one's talking smack. Everyone respects you, but then all of a sudden you get forefronted all the way to the front. But I know there has to be some ladies in that locker room that are kind of like, what the hell is going on?
And from a performance standpoint, I'm gonna agree with you, Miguel. And Amanda, I think you might have seen it. It might have seen it from Saturday night's main event. There's a couple of miscues that she had, even including Clash in Italy. I think she did have a couple of miscues here and there. But and I was thinking the same before she won the title. Like, hey, if she wins this, and again, congratulations. But then she's got to polish that up a little bit. And then Miguel, I think you're right. You got to give her time. Mondo, I think you're right too. You got to maybe not make that harsh, rash decision to try to elevate somebody so quickly. It
I
does
mean,
look good on
there's a
paper.
way you can do it,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have to be in like the first month. Or there are rare occasions where you can actually do it. Like I'm gonna go back to your point with Carlito. Okay, first night, bam. We've seen that too in other companies like WCW, other promotions. They try to do it, but the difference is when they're given that opportunity, like Miguel said, they have to have a great run. But sometimes there are instances where we see the belts get dropped. I want to see one of two things.
Mhm.
A lot of people are really strong, as in they're strongly behind Sol Ruka here. If she goes on a run, good for her. Does she have to be a fighting champion? Yes. She has to prove, like, hey, those other matches, I was, she can probably use the excuse, like, I'm in the main roster, the big lights, the flash photography. I wasn't ready. But now that I have the belt, I'm going to prove that it should stay with me. That's
Mm.
one. But they can go in another direction. Like you said, there's a possibility she might drop the belt back to Becky, but then make a story of redemption where she is winning matches, earning her shot, maybe gets it down the line on like a few months from now, loses, works her way back up again. Third time's a charm, basically. That's what I'm looking for. Third time's a charm. She'll get it, but at least she's putting in the work, and maybe she can get a little bit more polished. But again, it can go either way. But do I feel that this story for me, uh, as you know, I guess OCD sometimes, but did it make sense? Like to me, it didn't. But hey, you know what? We needed a feel good story. I mean, there she is. But let's see where it goes from here. You know,
Yes,
hopefully
hopefully on
she's gonna
Monday
get a
night,
fighting
Monday Night
chance.
Raw. Oh, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead,
no,
finish.
you're good. You're good.
My bad. That's my fault. But I was gonna say, Monday Night Raw will probably see the continuation of this feud. And then speaking of continuations and uh, talking about the OTC winning again. This time I think he's 3-0, 3-0 in Tribal Combat.
Yep. Clean
It's
sweep.
interesting at the end where we see Solo, Tamatanga, and Tama,
Hikuleo?
the big one.
I call him
What was it?
Hikuleo from Bullet Club days. You know,
Oh,
New Japan.
so my bad. Yeah, no, my bad. Big guy. They're all standing there at the corner, within everybody, and it's you go back to Jacob being, "I love you, Solo," and now he's with the tribal chief. So I think it's gonna be, we keep saying, the word interesting. Yeah, it's interesting, but then how is he gonna keep? How do you think he's gonna be? The lapdog for Roman Reigns going forward? Or you think he's gonna be humiliated to teach him a lesson to be, hey, you got to follow me going forward?
Yeah, I really don't know where this storyline's headed, to be honest. This is one of those where I'm a little bit confused as well, of like where I really don't know what WWE's headed towards, because they were all one family, then you split to one tribal chief, the other one, the cousin comes in, the cousin's now serving one tribal chief, the other one's on a break. I get the whole family intrigue, story, drama, whatever behind it, but you can only do so much storyline with that, you know? I want these guys to start feuding with the rest of the verse. Those are storylines that are gonna be worth it, you know? I just have no clue what's gonna happen, man. I just feel I don't think they'll humiliate him. They'll just probably use him less, and I think he'll just keep growing in frustration and turn on him again. I think that's my thing.
I think we'll see something like Miguel says, a frustrated Jacob Fatu. He ain't gonna be doing this, so he's gonna be like doing something else.
To the
He's
side,
not
no.
gonna be, yeah, he's not gonna be hyped. He's gonna be in the use that reference, the Chris Jericho vortex, where he's not gonna do anything. But I feel that this is interesting because, as you mentioned, Tony, we saw Solo Sikoa and the MFT there just shaking their head like, you become his, his little bee now. It's like, we told you, we warned you, and it's just like, what's gonna happen? So, even though, yeah, Roman is putting over Jacob really, really well here, and the match was really good. They told a really good story. And at the end, it's really interesting because now you got a defiant Fatu who doesn't want to listen to the Usos. They're like the little, like their little mini, I don't know the military route, but there's the commander. Then who comes next?
Let's just say like the privates.
The privates, yeah. And they're like, "Hey, come over here." And Fatu's Jacob's like, "Now I got to listen to you too now.
Like the new
Like, what the
grunt.
hell?"
Yeah.
Yeah, like, come on, man. Like, damn. And then just him taking his time, like, it's eating him inside. So that's gonna be good. This Monday Night Raw coming up for tomorrow, because I know we're recording this Sunday night.
And
It's gonna be
sorry,
good.
sorry to cut you guys
Yeah,
off. Just so you guys remember, Monday Night Raw is gonna be a little bit earlier than
Right.
that's
it's
right.
gonna be, I think, at 11 or 12 tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right.
11 a.m. or 12 p.m. Not nighttime.
That's
That's
true.
right.
Jesus. Jeez
Thank
Louise.
you.
I think
But
hopefully the one thing in my mind, when it comes to the storyline, is the word here, the trios. Am I playing that right? Trios.
No,
So
yeah,
right? Am I doing that right?
you're
Yep.
right side.
Oh,
You're
my-
right.
No,
Yeah, there it
you're
is.
doing it right. You're
no,
doing
I mean the belt's
Yeah.
right here. I
Oh,
know
okay,
that,
yeah.
but I'm pointing at the word.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the word. No, the
Whoops,
word.
our bad.
No, you're good. Maybe I'll
Oh,
do
you wanted
this.
the belt?
There we go. The word trios. AEW does it really well. Obviously, they have the titles and the trios setting. It brings out more competition, brings out more faces, brings out more competition. I was thinking, hopefully, if they're smart, they can use the trios. We can use the Usos. Well, I was about to flip you guys off. The Usos and
Don't worry, we'll flip you back.
Fatu versus MFTs, right? They can do that, or they can get somebody else. I don't know how big the roster is. I know AEW has a plethora of competitors versus WWE. I could be wrong, but I think if we can use that trios and kind of have more more battles within each other, and then Roman can fight somebody else that's not within the family, get something fresh out there, that'd be great. But we'll see. I think that was my prediction. I just wanted to. Hey man,
Survivor
we can fight them.
Yeah, we can fight them. We can do it. That'd be
We can
sick.
fight
But
them.
I'm hoping for a Survivor Series showdown, like the traditional MFT versus the OTC. You got 4 on one side, 4 on the other, and that's when we'll see Jacob's uh, betrayal or something. That
Yeah.
to me that'd be perfect because I mean, it's right there on the wall. 4 on one side, you got them, and then
Yeah, the writing's on the wall.
yeah,
You're
the
right.
writing's on the wall. There we go. And then you got the MFT with 3 people. They can just bring in somebody else. Maybe they can sign someone, like Tony said
Or
in
bring
the
back
previous
Mattel.
episode. Zilla, what is it?
Zilla.
Xylophone?
Yep, Zilla. Umaga's youngest, right?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
so. Yeah,
So
and they can go into Survivor Series that way, man, and that'll be good. But going back to Miguel's point, the family's got to fight, but that's what makes it a family. We fight all the time. So welcome to the family there, Miguel. So, it's just it's a brotherly love thing. So, it happens.
It happens. Yeah.
It happens.
But it's all in good fun.
Yep.
Or is it? I'm just kidding. So lastly, I just want to just Cody Rhodes just barely eked out against Gunther, and their feud's gonna continue. We could probably talk about that in another time, but I think I think I'm done talking about WWE for right now. And we could probably get into one of the biggest events that occurred over this past weekend. AAA. Miguel, you want to take that away?
yeah, of course. So, man, if anyone that's watching out there didn't watch AAA this weekend, please go back to the YouTube channels. You can listen to it in English. You got Corey Graves and JBL and Rey Mysterio talking, and then you got the Spanish team talking. I'm not familiar with their names. I'm sorry, but you got those two casts. But man, this was a smacker of a card. We had in the first one, Ray Phoenix defeat Laredo Kid for the World Cruiserweight Championship, the AAA World Cruiserweight Championship. Then we had War Raiders defeat Pagano and Psycho Clown. Pagano and Psycho Clown got into this drama. Like I said, run it back into the YouTube channel so you can see. Then we had El Hijo de Vikingo defeat El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr.
Too many hijos.
That was a banger of a match. I really enjoy. I mean, I enjoyed all of these. Honestly, the Ray Phoenix one, I just enjoyed all of them. They all had their dramas, but the one that we probably gonna talk about is El Grande Americano defeating the original El Grande Americano, and man, in a mask versus mask match. And let me tell you guys, as you guys know, because we've been chatting about it since we all kind of watched it, not together, but around same time frame. And Tony, I mean, what can you say about this match?
Oh, dude, I think you just said it. It was the highlight of I think the whole after Double or Nothing, the new week, this whole new week, it was nothing but getting uh to AAA. And did it deliver? My thought process for that match was the Mexican version of Finish the Story, because I'm getting chills right now. I am like literally getting chills. I loved from the beginning. We're Mondo and I, and we're all Hispanic and whatnot, but then seeing the culture that is lucha libre, and seeing how we see that in AEW a little bit more, and then we saw that happen on Monday Night Raw, where with Penta and Javon Evans, the fast pace of what lucha libre is. This was, everybody was hooked from the beginning. The crowd was 100% behind. And you said YouTube. If you guys can see it in Spanish, because I was watching in English, and I'm like, no. I thought, I'm Hispanic, but I love the Spanish commentary. They were really into it. Mondo, you said it yourself. Hey, because I asked you guys, like, hey, what do you guys think? English or Spanish? Mondo, what did you say? You're like, they're more passionate, right?
Yep. I was about to go back in my
100%.
text. I was like, what did I say?
No, you said it yourself. It's you're gonna be more
it's like-
passionate, and you know what? I took your advice, Mondo, and I'm like, you know what? He's right. Let me jump over and nonstop. This is like old school Monday Night Raw with JR, who's like, son of a bitch, oh, Stone Cold, and oh my God, can't believe that. Why Triple H? Like his energy. His energy brought your eyes to Monday Night Raw. Same goes with the announcers in Spanish, because they were really into it. The crowd was amazing. There was a lot in there, a lot of technical wrestling, a lot of spots where there's a portion where they went through the table where actually he missed the table and slammed him up against onto the floor, because he totally missed the table spot. They ripped out their masks. You could almost see their faces. If you, again, like Miguel said, if you guys haven't seen it, there's this huge storyline with one of the beloved wrestlers there that goes by the name of Pimpi. Sorry, Pimpi. So and then she came out of nowhere and beat the crap out of OG Grande Americano with the guitar, and she did the whole little. I was like, get the hell out of the way! You're ruining the moment. Because Grande Americano was going for the pin, but it was masterfully done in what they brought to the table with the storytelling, with everybody being hooked. I was hooked from the beginning, and then when it was announced Mask versus Mask. Miguel, I know you couldn't stop talking about it. This is going to be the best match, and I believed it. I saw it, and I think outside of WWE, this is like the best match. Outside of AEW too, this is like the best match AAA like has done. And albeit I'll take a word from Armando and be like, yeah, you're being a little biased because I haven't really seen everything that AAA. But then you're talking about storytelling. They delivered. And I loved every single second of that, and they delivered really, really well. Am I crying? Are you trying to see if I'm crying? No, sorry, but no, Miguel, I think they delivered 110% and more. Mondo, your take. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, Mondo, what were your thoughts on it?
Actually, I'll be honest. Sometimes when I do see wrestlers, I do tend to cry because of the emotional impact. Dude, by the end of this thing, I'm really tearful because what did I just witness? I'm just gonna put it that way. What the hell did I just witness? And you know what? Yeah, I could be a little bit biased. I'm gonna be very honest. Yeah, you know what? AEW, WWE, I tend to go over to the AEW side. But looking at this card, the way it was set up, this was to me and WWE needs to gamble just like they're gambling with AAA. This was their forbidden door, guys. I'm gonna put it that way. We got Forbidden Door coming out in June for AEW. AEW, you have to knock it out of the ballpark just like AAA did. Because you know what? There is competition. Not just with WWE. Like we mentioned, guys, it's with everyone. AAA had their Forbidden Door. It was some WWE superstars versus AAA. Rey Fenix versus remind me here.
Laredo Kid.
Laredo Kid. I was called the El Dorado Kid. I don't know why I was going to say that, but
That's the other one. That's the other one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kids in here.
Yeah, and so many hijos, they all this other stuff. But
Yeah.
dude, just like my 2 tag team members said, go out and watch this. They said everything that I wanted to say, but I will say this: from the start of this, pay-per-view, PLE, whatever you want to call it, go to YouTube. It gets you hooked. All the near falls, everything about this show was just perfect. And I don't say that a lot, but it was perfect. It was engaging. And yes, am I going to start watching the product? Oh, hell yeah. As our favorite wrestler here, with all 3 of us, one of our favorite wrestlers, Stone Cold, will say, oh, hell yeah, you got me hooked. I'm a believer now. And yes, even though it's a WWE product, I think they're doing it the right way. And like I said, take a page out of this, guys, up in the States. You guys can do this.
Mhm.
And this is what, some people do want to see in the States. But, it's neither here nor there, but let's just see what happens. But once again, go out and watch this. And like Tony said, and like I told him, when you see the Spanish commentary, it's always about passion. That's what the Mexican luchador, lucha libre is all about. There's a lot of passion. There's a lot of pride. You can say, hey, there's Mexican pride in this. Well, yeah, they're in Mexico. Even if you were to go in Europe, there's always, everybody has their own pride. Respect it, cherish the culture, and you're going to see that their way of wrestling is fast, nonstop. And you get that throughout this pay-per-view, PLE, whatever you want to call it. Go out, do yourself a favor, watch that tonight. Take it away.
Yeah, and I also just want to mention one more thing, and it doesn't have to be some about the wrestling. You know, you hit on a point where you said AEW and these other promotions have to watch out. I mean, absolutely they have to watch out. If it wasn't already announced to the world, AAA Triple Mania Day 1 in Las Vegas on September 11th, Friday. I mean,
Sorry, guys.
this is a big announcement for them and for their promotion. This is letting the world know, hey, we're coming. And so, like you said, Mando, you said it perfectly. If I'm the creatives at Forbidden Door, I'm looking at what we have on paper and see, okay, how can I enhance this to make it better? Because, uh-oh, we're in trouble if we got a promotion like that behind our back. I mean,
Hey, but that's perfect.
I mean,
Competition breeds excellence, and that's what I
I,
want to see. Push
I
each
mean,
other to do better, and that's the
like
best part.
of course, like you guys said, that's the beauty of different promotions in different regions of the world, right? Different styles and but that's what you want to see is you want to see the Mexican style wrestling on full display for the world to not only see what the wrestling is about, but when you're seeing, you feel the emotion. You feel when they're about to rip the mask. You feel when his back hits the ground. That's the difference. And so again, they're coming. They're coming. They're stepping outside of Mexico September and they're finally landing in Las Vegas for day 1. You think if those numbers don't hit, you think WWE isn't gonna respond and get these guys on a US tour?
That'd be awesome, dude.
Man, I can't wait, man.
They
But
were, they
that's
were
all we have.
no, I was gonna say like it's something that we love to watch, and it's the influence because you know lucha libre has been around for ages, and like it's part of the Mexican culture, and it expands. And this is why you had Mondo, you mentioned it a couple of shows ago, Chris Jericho going over to Mexico. He had Owen Hart going over to Mexico. You had Chris Benoit
Okada
even go
even.
over, Okada, everybody. They go to Mexico so they can learn. One of the best factions that Mondo loved in New Japan came from Mexico, Los Ingobernables de Mexico, and then the Ingobernables de Japón. That's where that came from, because there was the Mexican influence. So we start seeing it now. AEW has like Bandido, Andrade, and
Roosh.
Roosh out there. Thank you. And here we still have Rey Mysterio, right? That's why you see Penta, you see Rey Phoenix. If they can use Rey Phoenix better,
Commentary was okay.
if they can, that's Rey Mysterio. If they can use Rey Phoenix a little bit more to the style that he displayed in AAA, I think he can go very far and be even just as good as Penta, even though we know that he does as good as Penta. But WWE needs to show it. AEW showed it because they had them together for a good bit.
Mhm.
And the Lucha Bros. Do we want to see that in WWE? Hell yeah. We want to
Yes.
see Lucha Bros come back.
Yes.
But at the same time, like, we get it. They want to do singles, they want to do this, they want to do that. But like, if they can somehow bring what we saw, not whatever what we saw, it's what we saw in AAA for Ray Phoenix, set him up with somebody that's maybe bring, unfortunately Chad Gable lost. So even there you go, Mondo. I was gonna say, even there, having him unmask, having him go through the process of the proper etiquette of los luchadores that lose their mask, where they're from, how long were you a wrestler, and that was emotional, like you said, Monto, even for me too, because that was really cool, because he gave his respect to lucha libre. He gave his respect to what the culture is of wearing that mask, and they did that perfectly. And I think Chad Gable. And I was thinking that Chad Gable can go into Monday Night Raw and use that luchador experience and become one of those amazing high flyers that we could probably see him go after Penta this time.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say honestly, that's right there. That's the perfect storyline. Just bring his ass back to the WWE and have him start beefing with Penta, because now you have someone who can keep up with Penta, not just physically, but style wise. See, that's the issue right now with WWE and Penta's run. Ain't no one touching Penta because no one can really do what Penta does.
I agree. I agree.
Totally agree.
And the swagger that he has and all that. And just real quick, just so we hit another thing. If WWE were to give the Lucha Bros
Dominic had a point.
an opportunity or a shot to bring them back, they would single-handedly revive the tag team division for the men's. That I
Ding
want
ding 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 ding
I 100% believe
ding
that.
ding ding. There's two
See?
possibilities. Right? They could bring back the tag team division, or and I don't know. Hopefully you heard this, Miguel. And hopefully you heard this too, Mondo. They possibly planted the seed in there, between give me his name again. The who he beat,
Chad Gable?
Ray Phoenix, who he beat?
Laredo
Oh,
Kid.
Laredo.
Laredo Kid. Thank you. Damn it, I should have wrote it down.
Yeah, El Dorado Kid.
He said, oh, you're jealous of Penta, right?
Mhm.
And he's like, no, I'm not. I think those are small little seeds that are going to be planted, and then it's going to be watered later down the road, where maybe they will get put together, and then we'll see a whole Rockers, Shawn Michaels, Marginetti, where they're going to implode, and he's going to probably do something to Penta later down the road. But I feel like the seeds are being planted right now, even though it's subtle. I think that's going to happen maybe sometime next year. I think.
Yeah,
Ride the wave.
I
Ride the
would
wave.
love. Yeah, I would love that.
Ride the
Exactly.
wave.
I would love to see that.
But yeah, I mean, again, guys, that was it for AAA this week. Stay tuned again next Saturday through YouTube channels. We can catch up on AAA. And on that, pass it on to our other tag team partner so he can handle AEW and his chops on it.
AEW Dynamite. Chris Jericho versus Ricochet. Chris Jericho wins. All right, I'm trying to do my best impression here, but we'll do a quick rundown here for Wednesday. It was a super show. It was 3 hours long, and that caught me off guard because I thought we weren't going to get another collision this Saturday, but it
That's what I
happened.
thought. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, again, make it make sense to me right there for AEW. What the hell? We're doing 2 collisions in 1 week, but all right. But like I said, Chris Jericho versus Ricochet. My boy Ricochet, bald is beautiful. I guess bald is ugly because we're losing. And the next match here, it was a fun 4-way four-way match here. We had Leo Rush. It's fine with Roosh. So I guess they just call him Leo, not Leo Rush. Might have confused the people watching at home. Versus Orange Cassidy and Brian Cage. This was a fun match. Although in the end we had Roosh winning this one. We also had another match: Brody King versus Claudio Castagnoli. This was a meat versus meat. Very fun. Brody King, I believe, won on this one. And then we had Mark Davis versus Jack Perry, and I believe these were Owen Hart tournament qualifying matches, quarter qualifying matches. Mark Davis pretty much beat the shoes out of Jack Perry there. And we had Will Ospreay and the Death Riders with John Moxley and Pac versus the Rascals. Love the Rascals. I love what they do, man. But on this one, they just came up a little bit short. Will Ospreay, John Moxley, and Pac got the victory over them. And then we had El Idolo versus Ace Austin. How you know? How you know? You know, we just knew Idolo was going to win. But again, Ace Austin putting up some great matches. Coming up on the losing end, but I feel like this is one guy we shouldn't sleep on, guys. I know he's part of the Bang Bang Club, which we love. I think this guy has a bright future. And then we had was that it right there? I think we had the street fight, because I'm including all of them all together. Hikaru Shida versus Chris Statlander in your street fight. Crap, this was somewhat not hard to watch, but it was like, damn, this was really good. Very good spots on each one, but Chris Statler got the win here. I guess my only takeaway from this was, I don't know. I like what he's doing in AEW right now. I know some of you guys may not agree, but I like Leo Rush's character and just the overall development of this guy. I was like, nah. I love it. See, look, we have sports entertainment, and I think this is like AEW's version of sports entertainment. But I've been watching him in Ring of Honor. I know I don't have any notes from Ring of Honor this past Thursday. I think I said they come on Friday, but that's when they do their shows. But I really like where this is going. If anyone's been paying attention to Leo Rush's character descending into the madness, like his little contacts are going crazy, kind of like the cartoon show Rick and Morty, how they have like their eyes all weird and pigmented. All it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and now they're all red. You know, it's like what the heck is going on? Is it leading towards something? But just the goofiness, the non-serious approach that he's having with all this was fun for me. If there was anything that caught your attention, guys, or if you guys saw it, I know we had the MJF celebration, which that I do want to talk about, because to me, I just love the way he dismissed Mark Briscoe and gave all the attention to Roosh. And you just see Mark Briscoe with a, huh? What about me? Huh? So I like how they're playing into that. So I want to see where that goes. But next week, for this coming Wednesday, we're going to have Roosh versus MJF for the title. I feel that Mark Briscoe is going to somehow get involved in all this in one way or another. But yeah, it was a jam-packed show, a lot of wrestling for 3 hours. But yeah, those were like my takeaways from there that caught my attention. I don't know if there was anything else you guys want to add on to that before I get to the second collision for some reason. This week.
I just want to I do want to touch on Leo Rush for a second, but before I do that, something that did catch my attention.
Leo.
What did I say, Leon?
It's just Leo.
Oh, Leo. Oh man,
Gotta drop the Rush.
Yep.
My Leo Rush. My bad, Leo. My bad, Leo. Is at the ending of Double or Nothing. We saw Speedball. At the beginning, I think it was Speedball Mike Bailey.
Kevin Knight doing UFO.
Yeah. But then, I did say the ending of Double or Nothing, but I mean at the beginning of the show too. They kind of like had this back and forth, and I thought they were gonna be cool, and then at the end, Speedball was like, hey, we're not friends anymore. We're not gonna, I guess we're gonna go after each other. Another story.
But again, it didn't grab me because Kevin Knight, he can be a good heel, but he's kind of not knowing where his spot is really with
Yes.
this whole gimmick, and it doesn't. It came out kind of naturally in the beginning, but then he pulled back. He shouldn't have, and then he started talking like a face, and it's just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you got to be like the beginning where you came out, you were really cocky, and you were like sticking it to Darby and why you did what you did. Keep that, keep that energy. Don't fall back to being the goody two shoes. Be a jerk. It's fine. But honestly, that was it. But then, what the hell was Speedball wearing? It was like a suit, karate master,
I have no clue
something.
what
I'm
that
like,
was. Bro,
bro,
I was gonna say one of my highlights was like, can we
that's
just talk
that's a good
about
thing I brought it up.
what he was wearing? Because I'm like,
what is that?
there's times where do they not do wardrobe check or check in the mirror real quick and say, all right, hey, look, I'm gonna be on national TV. Again, guys, I'm not saying you gotta be perfect or gotta have
Yeah.
fresh haircut. No. But
There's
you
the
just
look.
pulling up in a half karate, half tuxedo,
Yeah.
and like
A beige. Like, what kind of color is that, dude?
It's like and to our mother's point, how am I gonna take you seriously, right? How
Yeah.
make it make sense to us? How does this make sense?
I'm like, I honestly thought it was someone else at first, and then I was like, oh,
I thought it was a female wrestler. I'm like, well, who's she? I'm like,
who is
oh,
it? Me too, because I'm like, wait, who the hell is this? And I was like, oh my goodness, man. I was like, what's going on right here?
I hate this kid.
Like,
What the hell?
what are we
What
wearing?
the hell?
I am looking forward to I am looking forward to Rouge, not Leo Rush.
No.
You mess with the bull, you get the
I'm
horn.
gonna get you.
I am looking forward to that, but I absolutely think you're right. I do think Snaggletooth is gonna come out and he's just gonna absolutely mess everything up, and they're just gonna have their storyline. MJF is just gonna go off and start beefing with someone else because he's not gonna. Champ doesn't have time for it.
Yeah. I was thinking he's turning into like some kind of weird $5 Gollum wannabe, but that's just him. Like you said, Mano, he's being like taken over by this demon, and he has all this like, hey, this is I'm going into like Gollum, I think.
Tony.
Oh my god, damn! Somebody just slap the crap out of this guy.
Yeah,
Wake up,
yeah,
wake up, damn you! Just like
I
that
think-
lady in the airplane, just shake her and just slap her. real
Just
quick.
slap. There's a whole line. There's a whole row of
There's
people
two
waiting to
things.
do that.
Just give him a pen and paper and say, "Hey, my man, draw a few more ideas on here, or come up with a few more ideas,
I
or
like it.
or just give him a whole archive of old cartoons to go through, and I'm sure some wacky ass gimmick will pop up. That's better than this."
I like it.
All this, like I just don't get it.
I like it. I get it.
he's like,
I like
he's like, Leo, he gets it. He gets it.
Mono's going into madness.
Mhm.
All right.
Ace Austin is still impressing me. I called it out last week or last
Yeah.
time. He's impressing me. And I this whole like he has this like look to him where he's coming out. Obviously, when he comes out with his card, reminds me of a cross between Gambit and maybe the Joker, and just coming out.
Purple suit,
That's his
yep.
look, right? But then when
his glasses are always wacky and cool. So
Yeah, they're like
he's-
bleeding at the bottom or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to look closer. I'm like, what?
I think Shawn Michaels used to come out with those
the
style like
hearts,
heart
yeah.
glasses
Mhm.
right
Or
before
without the
without the blood.
whole blood effect
Yeah.
there.
But overall his talent is really good, and I'm really impressed.
hell
And,
yeah.
I hope that later down the road he's able to get a title opportunity. I guess until he wins,
I agree.
right? But I'm very impressed with Ace Austin, and I hope he continues to actually look for actual wins, and then hopefully he gets a title shot somewhere down the road. Yes, wins.
An
Yes.
opportunity.
Controversy creates cash
Ah.
too. So remember that.
Okay, Bischoff.
It's a good book.
Look
Read
what
it.
happened to him.
He has a podcast, and we're competing.
Oh, yeah.
We're competitors.
That's right. Mr.
Yeah.
Bishop, if you ever want to give us a lesson, we're here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Please.
Or if you ever want to join, come on
Yeah.
over.
Or if you want to pay us and give us a job, that'd be great
Yeah.
too. But
Yeah.
come on over. We'll be happy to have you on.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, come on over. We'll be happy to have you on.
And then we'll talk about quickly here the other collision on Saturday.
Double
Guess we didn't
collision.
double collision this week. That's what threw me off. That's why I was like, wait, didn't I just?
They
But
said that.
anyways, they set me up for failure, I guess, because I was like, holy crap, there's another collision tonight. Yesterday, was able to catch that. Brief rundown. We saw Lee Moriarty. I can't even say his last name, but I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
Lee
call him Lee,
Moriarty.
man. Great wrestling, pure wrestler here. Just going out of his element in a regular wrestling style match. He got the victory with the unknown local. Not going in any particular order here, guys. We had the Guns versus the Dogs, another fun match. Killer entrance by our boys, the Guns, but they came up short. The Dogs got the victory on them. We had Hazuki versus Maya World. Maya World impresses me in Ring of Honor, and she put up a great match here. Not great, but it was just very, very good and decent against Hazuki there. They had maybe like 2-3 missed spots there, but overall, I enjoyed it. You had a little bit of strong style versus technical wrestling there, and then we had cannot put these guys over, man, from the SCP Sean Taylor Promotions, the Infantry versus the Death Riders. Fun match. It was right there before the main event. You know, go see this tag match. It's what tag team wrestling is all about. And then we had AJ, Love Anna J, not because she's going out with Jack Perry though, but Jack Perry, you got my respect there. Versus Divine Dominion for the 5-minute eliminator stipulation there, and they were able to survive the 5 minutes. Good for them. They're gonna get a title opportunity down the road. And then we had the trios titles, the Conglomeration versus the Don Callis family. Again, guys, what is it with Fall People this week? We are losing. You know, we're losing the good fight. Conglomeration held on to the trios titles there. A little backstage segment with the Conglomeration and with Leo.
Did he have his
They're
umbrella?
friends.
Was it on this collision that he had an
Yeah.
umbrella?
Yeah. It
Like
was
it's the rain, it's
Yeah,
raining,
it's
it's pouring. Oh shit!
three. Those are friends. And then he just walks by them. And then we had the main event, Kenosuke Takeshita versus Daniel Garcia. Fun match there. Good, could have been great.
Oh,
Um, I like this match because it kind of showed the emotional side, or Daniel Garcia, I should say, was a little bit more animated, a little bit more cocky. We had Kenosuke I can't even say his name right now. Takeshita.
There you go.
Yeah, I like saying the last name. I can't say his first name too. I'm saying it differently, but Takeshita really selling his injured left leg there. And again, Daniel Garcia was just kind of, you know, going over his head, a little too cocky, which
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, kind of cost him the match there. And even John Moxley on commentary was amazing, and he kind of called it out too. It's like, hey, pay attention to your opponent, like stop doing that. So we'll see where he's gonna stand with the Death Riders after this loss. Maybe he's just gonna take a step back and just kind of train harder, maybe as hard as
I-
Will Ospreay with his neck. Maybe they got to train Daniel Garcia and his cockiness there. But overall, this collision, quick 2 hours, I felt. My biggest takeaway was two things here: the infantry and the Death Riders, and the post match of the main event. But just to start off with the infantry and the Death Riders, they were building into something there. You got Sean Taylor getting involved, knocking out Moxley at one point in the match, which was setting up a good storyline towards the end of the night, where we saw different run-ins from not only STP, Shane Taylor Promotions, you had the Death Rider crew, you got the Conglomeration, Don Callis family. So you have all these factions just kind of fighting one another. And I'm like, I'm happy to see that, because now you acknowledge that these factions, they all are beefing with each other, so they can have different rotations there. You know, or you can have friends among enemies, you know, things of that nature. So I was just like, let's see where this goes. Good ending. I love the fact that Takeshita held the title up, and was just kind of showing it off to everybody and anybody, even the conglomeration. Like, I'm the man. It's like, yeah, you are, bro. You know, putting some prestige back into the title. Not that Okada didn't do that, but both of them are holding up their end of the bargain as top-notch champions with that title. And yeah, I just can't wait to see where this goes. Maybe we see a little Leo get involved in that little skirmish there, but hey, we'll see.
I
What'd you
don't
guys
know.
think?
I don't recall. It might have been this collision. Um, and you called out all these factions, Madu. You called out all these factions. One faction that I think we kind of missed, or maybe it might be fell off the radar, is the Ops. We
Were they
had
there?
Samoa Joe. He's like, hey, I'm going to Hollywood. I don't know if it's
Oh,
for Twisted Metal, season 3 or on Netflix. Netflix. Anyway, but
NBC?
he's like, hey, I'll be back. You guys hold the fort, and he's explaining that this is the opposition. If you guys don't know what the ops, that's the opposition. Bringing in people who want to be different and that they support each other. And so now you have Anthony Bowens, Hook, and
Shibata?
Shibata together now. And at the end, to me, I'm like, okay, cool. This is going to be a different direction for the Ops, because we saw Hook kind of moving himself in the
Mhm.
middle and kind of be like, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to be the one leading this team. And Bowens is like, whatever, let's go with it. I've been one that's been kind of like, damn, Hook, that little skinny guy with the weird hair, Taz's son, semi nepo baby there, so to speak. But I'm like, okay, let's see
Not
what
really. I
Hook.
mean, they gave him his dad's belt. It's not like they're giving him opportunities like some other family from
So still
WWE.
nepo baby then. So
Still, but has he
he's
won anything big?
he's
Not
he's
yet.
he's there.
Not
He
yet.
has his
Not yet.
foot. He's
Not yet.
he's in there. He's in there.
Not
He's
yet.
in there. No matter
Not yet.
what, everybody's in there. So but that's what I'm trying to get at. So now if he's gonna be the leader, now he's gonna have to show that leadership skills, and be the man, so to speak, and be that his own man, his own being as a leader for the Ops while Samoa Joe is gone. That's something that kind of intrigued me, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is something different, at least for me on that aspect.
I
But
just
yeah,
hope they don't drop the ball with this crew because I feel like they're a good wrecking crew, you know. But it just feels like when Hook was with Taz, and we know him now as Royce Keys. He was Powerhouse Hobbs. They had that faction with even with Ricky Starks. They didn't do much. All they did was like beef with Sting and Darby Allin for a good length for like a good year and a half. And I hope it doesn't happen again with Hook. Like you said, he has to venture out and take leadership.
yeah,
Let's see what happens. I
yeah.
hope something big happens for him, but until then, I'm not gonna call him the Nepo baby yet because nothing's been given
No,
or handed to
and
him.
not
I
what
know,
you were.
I'm joking. Relax.
No, and I was joking too.
I
It's
know,
just
but
it's
I'm just nodding because I'm like, he's not there yet. He's not there yet. Once he gets the
once he
title,
gets the title
then
shot, like,
then I'll acknowledge him like my tribal chief in AEW. I'll be like, yes, Hook. I don't know how we do an H, like hologram,
Hook.
something. Hook.
Oh, like hologram?
Yeah.
No.
Or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's an H. But
It's a
yeah,
Hook.
but going back to your point, it's like let's see what happens because what sucks is like, yeah, his body size may not speak for it, but dude, this guy has a lot of strength, unbelievable power underneath his like legs. Once he gets his base into it, he does a lot of great things. So hopefully
Yeah.
we can see the Ops get involved with
I'm with
what happened at the end of Collision with everybody mixing in. I think that's what your point though was like. We should have seen them in there too. We should have seen them get a little more involved. And with them not being there, it just kind of. I'm just hoping that they didn't get lost in the shuffle like they always do.
Yeah, and I hope they don't. And that's where I'm like, okay, if this is what the new direction that they want to go while Samoa Joe is gone, and in all honesty, Samoa Joe brings that brutality, like you said, Mondo. I'm just repeating what you said. Is that leadership and brutality of what the Ops is known for. I think it's going to be a different direction. I do see maybe one more person jumping in just in case, to kind of fill in the void for
that'd be
them.
cool.
Shibata
Max
is
Caster.
hey, that'd be great. Get the band back together. I think Shibata is like a silent assassin to me. I think he can run with the best of them too. And then he just needs to get a couple of wins in there. If I think the ops are gonna be that silent killer, so to speak, where you'll see them rise up slowly, and I think they'll by summertime, before Samoa Joe comes back, you'll probably see them with a title or two around their waist. So that's my prediction for them. Looking forward to the ops doing something big with Hook. But that was my biggest take so far there. And then Megan Bain. Keep talking about Megan Bain. And hopefully we finally saw somebody survive the 5 minutes. Miguel's, we probably won't survive 2 minutes. but but you know what I mean. They finally found adversaries that we've been talking about since we started this podcast, and what a dominant force is, and then now they can finally they found that suitable opponent. Hopefully, they can continue to become dominant, because I truly don't want to see them to lose. I don't want to see them lose right now. Not like this. Not yet. Let them get a better run. Have them continue doing this dominant run to make them one of the most elite, no pun intended, tag teams in the women's division for AEW. So that's my next biggest takeaway, because like I said, I am high on the women's division in AEW. I think the girls did put up a nice show in Clash in Italy, but I think the AEW women are more hungrier, and they show it off, especially with that previous Collision match in the hardcore hardcore style that we saw with Statlander.
Yeah, and Cheetah.
And Cheetah. So I still believe AEW has the more better women's division in all of wrestling.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Well. I mean, the AAA ladies.
Oh, we haven't touched. We would love to touch, but we haven't, talked about that yet.
Good game.
We will have to get enlightened on Saturdays again. It's on
Yes.
YouTube, guys.
Well, I mean,
we'll be back Las Tóxicas, I think, right?
So next Saturday, we'll for sure we'll be back in the flesh. We'll be talking about Miss Lola Vice, Las Tóxicas, Bailey, and Lyra Valkyria.
No, La Catalina, bro.
Oh, La Catalina. My bad. I mixed them up because she came out with Lyra
in IG for the last 4 years.
But yeah. So that will be that match. But
I sound desperate.
But also, I just want to touch on one thing though, on the AEW thing. I want to touch on Daniel Garcia. I've been saying this for.
You're doing it.
I've been saying this for a while. Daniel Garcia does not fit the profile of a Death Rider. I don't care how hard you train him or what they're trying to make him look like a badass.
Who? Wait, hold on. Say it again. Who?
Daniel Garcia.
Oh, okay. You went Daniel Garcia. Oh my god, that's kidding. I'm like, who?
Like every time he's in there wrestling, you could tell he doesn't have an inch of his body of being mean. Like I almost feel like he just wants to go out there and have fun and wrestle, but now he's forced into this gimmick where one, he's completely ass at it. He wrestles good, but the gimmick, it's not meshing well.
I can see that point. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
It's not all there. He's not a complete package, like you said, Miguel. It doesn't mesh. It doesn't seem like he's very threatening. I guess the word,
Yep. That's perfect to say. That's way perfect to say. Again, okay, I take he's ass. His gimmick is not as threatening as I mean, even Marina Shafir, bro. She looks threatening as hell.
You know me.
But you see Daniel Garcia, and what's the first thing that everyone wants to do? We're all,
Yep.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, even the whole crowd, they do it. They still do it. The hope that he does it, and he never does it.
Let me put it this way: I think the Proto Star was more intimidating coming out with a pink suit
Yeah.
than Daniel Garcia, and I was intimidated by that dude because I was like, damn, this guy.
Mike
You know.
Bailey was more intimidating, dude. Talking about
Okay,
it.
now that's
That's a stretch.
a stretch. That's a stretch. You know, I need a picture of his outfit. Like when we talk about this,
Put it out there, Mondo.
Put
Put
it
that
up.
picture next to
his
him.
outfit just needs to come up real quick and just.
I'll put it up.
I guess that's his new Halloween costume as Speedball. Speedball in the suit.
Keep on in a karate suit.
Karate. God, man. I don't know.
You know, we had a long, good week of wrestling, and you know, I just wanted to point out that it's fun. This has been really fun, and you know, and I was telling Mondo the other day that you know, I know there's some small tribalisms out there where you know, yes, Mondo calls me a WWE mark, and I love that. You know, it's fine. Mondo loves AEW, so he's an AEW mark. But you know, us coming together doing this, guys, like like you said, Miguel, it opens up a broader spectrum of like, okay, this is what AEW is doing. What are they doing differently? What's making them so successful? You know, maybe it's bringing Mondo back a little bit more. You know, there's some storytelling that Mondo still is not probably like, man, what the hell does not make sense? Hence what we talked about. But there's still some things, there's elements in there that Mondo still respects, and they're like, okay, this is really cool. And then now, you know, Miguel, you're talking about AAA. The thing that keeps coming into my head is like, what a time to be a wrestling fan again. We said this, Mondo, when we were young. Miguel, probably you said that with your friends back in the day. Like, what a great time to be a wrestling fan when we were young, switching back and forth on Monday nights.
Hell yeah.
From
Hell.
Raw to-
WCW, WWE, or WWF
Right.
at the time. Yeah.
we would switch back and forth, and you know, it's either you know for live or you're like suck it, between both of them, right? And then now here we have you know a plethora of wrestling that
Is this NWO, Tony, or a Bullet Club?
this is both. This is or the click too. You want to go
Or the
back,
Click, yeah.
The click too. But it's too sweet no matter what. We too sweet everybody. I love too sweeting people that I see. My friends, we too sweet as well. But too sweet. Woo. But what I'm trying to get at, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan again. If you guys out there, please like, comment, tell us what you guys thought about you know this past week's wrestling events, AAA, AEW, WWE, and if you hopefully you feel the same way we did. Because yeah, it is a great time to be a wrestling fan, and you know, hopefully you guys you know are feeling the same way too.
And if there's anybody who agrees with me with this whole Sol Ruka thing, hey, I'll even mention your damn name here and my damn name.
Yeah, just like just like our tag team partner said, please join in on the conversation. Put your comments, what you guys enjoy, um, not in terms of the podcast, what you guys enjoy in wrestling, right? Like who cares about the wrestling? Like let's create a community where we all get to talk about wrestling. And so tap in on the comments, give us likes, shares, comments. You know, like I said, talk with us so that when we do this, we get to come back and not only have a conversation with both of my tag team partners, but we also get to have a conversation with you guys, you know, and who knows, maybe when we attend shows, you know, we got Tony, myself, and our friend Richard, who was prior on the podcast. We're going to Raw. Hey, if you guys watch this, let's meet up for a drink. A drink doesn't have to be a beer. A drink can be water. Hey, let's meet
No.
up for a burger, a hot dog. You know, let's let's all be friends here, and we're very welcoming. So, welcome, guys.
Right? Is this
What's
Mhm.
up?
heart? Is that a heart? I don't know.
Like you're giving us a finger, like
Oh,
one time you're gonna get them a drink.
I don't know.
Were you inviting them for a free
something
drink too? It's like, all right.
Okay, all around, please.
No, but you guys, I know you, Miguel mentioned this. You guys are going to Raw. Sorry, I can't make it. With my current job situation, couldn't get that Monday off. Thanks, job. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna put that out there for you. Yeah. But you know, you guys have a
But
great time. But where are we going?
we're going to GCW.
Definitely be
We'll
there.
be
We'll
out
take some
there.
photos. You know, post that up on our channel. Oh, and before we do that, I know some of you, or a handful that have subscribed. There was an issue with the standalone West Coast Trios Wrestling podcast. I'm putting them up on my channel at the moment, so hopefully, you know, it doesn't get taken down for some erroneous reason. I'm not going to get into the full details, but please like, share, and subscribe. We want to talk about wrestling with you guys. We are going to share our moments when we go out and see them live. We'll post videos, we'll post photos. So, you know, we're going to include you guys on what we do, everything wrestling here with us. But definitely want to hear from you guys and your feedback. I don't want to end the show right now, Tony, because I know you were kind of preparing for that. But let's stay a little bit on topic on that, and let's just talk about a little bit on which wrestler is not only the reason we love wrestling, but he's the reason we keep watching wrestling. You know what I mean? Kind of like the most influential wrestler in our lives, so to speak. You want to take that, Tony or Miguel?
Yeah, I think the biggest influence has to be Hulk Hogan. I think that was the first hero that we saw as kids, and having him be put into the spotlight for WrestleMania. And I'm trying to remember which actual WrestleMania we saw. It might have been WrestleMania 5,
Against who?
where the Mega Powers explode.
I think it was WrestleMania 3 or
Did we see the Andre the Giant one? Was that the first one
that
we
was
saw?
WrestleMania 3, right? At the Pontiac Silverdome.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
okay, so it might have been that one, the first ever WrestleMania we saw. And
Yeah,
growing up,
great.
growing up, and you know, influence into the '90s when he turned heel. Mondo, you saw, you know, we both saw it. It was the Bash at the Beach pay-per-view. Was the outside? I was gonna say Insiders. Well, the Outsiders have Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash, and you know, Dusty Rhodes. Was like, who's the third guy? Is he the, you know, but is he the third? I think it was him, right? He was in there.
Yeah, he kind of gave it away a little too fast. That must be
So
the third man. Like, what the hell? Like,
is he? And then Tony Schiavone got, you know, maybe we, you know, I think one of the best announcers out there, I think.
yeah, we
And
grew
I'll
up with
get
his
to that
voice.
later. But
Yeah.
I think the influential of Hulk Hogan and his ego taking over WCW and kind of destroying WCW, coming back, having that iconic match with The Rock, WrestleMania 18, icon versus icon, and you know, one of the greatest, like, all around matches, because you saw how everybody in the Toronto Skydome went wild, and they remembered the nostalgia, and you saw him, and he was like hulking up, he was doing his poses, and you know, we've seen the interviews between The Rock and Hulk Hogan, how they like, oh, we had to switch it up. I had to be the bad guy. You know, you were gonna be the bad guy regardless, Rock. But the Hulk Hogan came back into the yellow and red, and you know, he came out, and you know, politics and personal life aside, this man was very influential. Unfortunately, I booed the crap out of him. I said this in the beginning of our podcast. Me and Miguel were there, booed the crap out of him, and I feel bad because he passed away a couple of months after that, and that's the last time I got to see him live. And I thank God that me and Miguel went to go see Monday Night Raw, because he came out, and unfortunately he came out to talk about his beer. But you know, it's like, you know, at least I got to hear what you're gonna do when the largest arms of the world comes, runs wild on you. One of the things that I do love, Mondo, and I believe it was the Los Angeles Sports Arena. We begged our dad to take us, or at least I don't recall, but I think we begged our dad to take us to go watch Hulk Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter.
The house show.
and it was at the LA Sports Arena, and he was in the last match. It was a Desert Storm match, and the thick of watching Iraq and the USA having their conflict. Then you had Sergeant Slaughter on one end and Hulk Hogan, and I think Undertaker had a match there. Shawn Michaels and Bret the Hitman Hart actually had a banger of a match there too, and I think that was the first time I ever saw somebody run in after the match is over, and he went and go beat up on Bret the Hitman Hart. I think one of my best friends at the time, Emily, was ringside, and I think we were supposed to go to that match, and I think that's why we were like, we want to go too, we want to
Yeah.
go too. But
She had the
sorry,
best seat in the house.
shout out to our dad for taking us, taking us there to that sports arena and getting us hooked, and he's always been, one of those, even though he knows it was fake, but he understood because he loved lucha libre as well. And so, anyway, going off on a tangent, Hulk Hogan, Hulk Hogan, Hulk Hogan
Hulk
was
Hogan.
my influence. And then we'll get into technical wrestling. We can talk about that, but then he's the one that cultivated and captured my attention to wrestling and for what it is as a sports entertainment. And as we got older, we knew it's something different, and technical
ventured out.
wrestling. Technical wrestling came out, and we love that as well. So yeah, I'll just stop there. I think Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you because you said everything. As you are my older brother, I'm always a tag along, tag team partner right there. So whatever you were into, I was always right behind you. So Hulk Hogan was definitely the man growing up for us. It was just larger than life. So well put, well said. Miguel, who was your influential wrestler growing up?
Oh man, Hulk Hogan's a good one. I think for me, the one person that I like for sure was like, okay, I've seen this person grow and go through the trenches, but then also just turn it upside down. And that was none other than Stone Cold Steve Austin, man. I think his gimmick before Stone Cold, when he was a bit lost and not knowing what to do and kind of just, to me, knowing now what we know about the business, it's like you got to have such tough mentality to say, okay, you know what I'm doing is not working out, but I also don't want to stop because this is my passion. So let me see how I can pivot right now. I'm sure that it wasn't just all him, right? There's obviously teams behind this, just like Hogan, there's teams behind working these guys and making them the image and all that. But there's still, in order for all that to work, you still need the person, right? And so that's what makes Hogan Hogan, right? That's why I admire Stone Cold the same way, is because even when he wasn't no one, he pivoted and kept trying until he landed on something that not only worked, but literally flipped the entire industry upside down because he elevated every single person in the roster to come up with him. Now, that's kind of tough to say because in this particular era versus the Hogan era, there wasn't as many as, and I say that carefully because again, I get it. Bret the Hitman Hart, Ultimate Warrior. Again, there's rest, but during the Attitude Era, the plethora of greatness that was there, everyone was already great. And when he started performing at Stone Cold Steve Austin level, everyone just came up with him. Triple H came out of greatness. The Rock was already greatness. These were all guys that were already great in their own regards, but him doing his gimmick made them do their gimmick 10 times better. And for me, seeing that was influential, man. Just seeing someone play their character so damn good that you forced everyone else to play their character 10 times better. And I'm like, bro, like even your boss got in on it and he played his character. Like, um, I just for me it's just I love Stone Cold, man.
Yeah, man. I love him too, man. Tony, there ain't no Hogan's here. That amazing ECW promo.
If you ever see the beginnings, the genesis of what Stone Cold Steve Austin was, having him
I
go
called
to,
it too.
huh?
I'm like, I called it too.
Yeah, you did.
Freaking
Actually, you did. When
freaking
we were
TV
younger.
tube. Didn't need no
Um,
book.
he gave that amazing promo because of the fact that he was so bitter at Eric Bischoff. And then when he came out to WWE, like you said, he was lost. That ringmaster gimmick with Ted DiBiase,
Yep.
Yeah, Ted DiBiase, he was just lost in the sauce, man. He
and then
long hair, just
we could have had Fang McFrost instead
Yeah.
of Stone Cold Steve Austin. So good old Fangy said nah, and he doubled down, right, so to speak, on that King of the Ring, and to what you said, and if you ever seen his comments or his interviews, he said he struck lightning in a bottle, not just once but twice. And like you said, Miguel, he knocked it out of the park, and he turned the industry upside down with, and that's the bottom. That's the bottom line. Oh, actually, Austin 316 says I just whooped your,
Your ass.
and then thank you, mother.
Yeah.
And
I'll
and that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. What happened the next day, Miguel? Right out on Raw. What happened?
Bro, do you guys see how many goddamn signs there were?
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I'm saying. That whole stadium was flooded with signs, bro. There was mad signs the night after that Raw. There
Yep.
was a stupid amount of signs, bro. It was crazy. It's still one of the craziest Raws in terms of signs.
And then what did you take to EDC? What were you wearing?
Oh, I wear my Austin 316 shirt.
There you go.
for
One
sure.
one best selling T-shirts out there. Austin 316.
Tony, what do we drink when we get together, when we watch PLEs, pay-per-views, do our fantasy drafts with the bros, with the goon squads?
Yep.
We get the Stone Cold IPAs or the regular lagers, and
Dude, the
shout out
American
to
lager, oh my god, best.
I haven't tried the lager yet. I want to try the lager.
Yeah,
I thought we did.
No, oh no.
We did.
I brought you the lager. I didn't try the lagers that time because I was drinking other
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. So drink responsibly, guys.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure. Don't drink responsibly.
I was drinking water.
But yeah,
Okay.
Can't
But
say
no,
enough for
great.
Stone Cold,
I agree.
man. Stone Cold is just wow.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, you got believe me when I tell you, when my brother tells you, I was watching Stone Cold when he was stunning Steve Austin, when he was led down to the ring in WCW with Medusa, and he had this whole gimmick like they wanted to make him the next like Ric Flair, and I saw greatness then when he was just putting up some good matches again, like him, just like Tony did with the whole Hollywood Blondes thing.
Mm-hmm.
Putting it with Brian Pillman, both of these guys ahead of their time, they were doing things like you wouldn't expect in the ring, and for them not to, again, I guess, cater and nurture young talent, that's where WCW, I think, dropped the ball on a lot of their talent. I mean, they even had Big Daddy Cool Diesel there. They had The Undertaker. They had they had like you said, Tony,
Everyone.
a plethora of talent.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't use it correctly, and
Until they came back.
Yeah, and that's what happens. You got to venture out. But again, Stone Cold, he already knew it in him. He doubled down on himself many times, and kudos to him. He's a big inspiration. He inspired a lot of people in the late '90s, early 2000s to not only grow up hair in response to their bosses, but he made a lot of people more self-confident, stand up to their boss, like, hey, I'm not gonna take this, from my boss.
Bro,
A lot of
he's a
people opened up
cultural
their own
icon.
businesses.
He's a
Yeah,
cultural icon, bro. Like outside of the ring, I mean,
Oof.
Hulk Hogan is too. Don't get me wrong, but I don't see people going up to their boss and Hulk Hogan them, but I hear thousands of people want to stun their bosses, you know.
Yeah,
So
he was living our American dream right there.
How many
literally,
people can say I came out in Celebrity Deathmatch?
and
Right?
also too, let's be real. See, this is I don't want to leave this out because this is the most important thing about Stone Cold. Let's not forget that his whole gimmick was supposed to be a heel, yet the world loved him so much that he is still one of the most beloved heels that there ever has been. Ever. When this man was supposed to be hated, everyone loved him. No heel has that ever happened. Ever.
Yeah,
No.
that was the switch between him and Bret the Hitman Hart in WrestleMania 13. He
Mhm.
Classic
he
match.
he he had a banger of a match there too, and like Mondo said, it's a classic match. You saw the Crimson, and what happens when you hit a man while he's down. You become the bad guy, and so Bret the Hitman Hart and him, they had that famous double switch, and yeah, he was intended, like you said, he was intended to be the bad guy, but people loved him. People loved his shirts. People wanted to open up a can of whoop ass. And he came out with the biggest lines out there, and stump of mud hole dry, and you can kiss my ass and I'll
Yeah.
stun you and whatnot.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, yeah, great choice, Miguel. We could go on
you
and
gotta
on.
be the world's dumbest son of a bitch.
Yeah, he revolutionized a lot for WWE, and not just that, for the wrestling world, and and they got pushed that way because and the NWO and Hogan were being influenced, right? Because they were influencing because of the realness of WCW, and so
Mhm.
the Attitude Era came about, and so they let him loose, and Stone Cold just outdid everybody tenfold, and there will never be
Ever.
another Stone Cold Steve Austin. There will
Ever.
never be a Rattlesnake. There's an ET out there. There's a Stone Cold ET out there, but there's never gonna be a Rattlesnake that is Stone Cold Steve Austin, hands down. And I just want to say one last thing about Hulk Hogan. Mondo, you and I were at the Gibson Amphitheater. We saw Hulk Hogan get inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And what you gonna do, brother? And it was one of the highlights of watching that man. And like I said, unfortunately, we booed the crap out of him before he passed away. But it was great seeing him get inducted into the Hall of Fame. Rest in peace to not just Hulk Hogan, but to the amphitheater, because that was a great venue back in the day, Universal
All the
City
Power
Walk.
Rangers.
How dare you? Yeah, we did see the Power Rangers there. Back when we were young, we waited 10 hours. Poor mom, she waiting in line for us while Mondo and I went to Five Wolves Playland, and guess what? It turned into Terminator 2 because they're like, nah.
Kids are having too much
But
fun.
but anyway,
Give them a
that's
taste of
an
the future
event.
with AI.
That's something for another discussion. But just like Armando said, like if you guys have any influences on what and how you got into wrestling, what's influencing you now, and like it was mentioned earlier that this is a great time to be a wrestling fan. Tell us why you're a wrestling fan. Tell us what's interesting that makes you interested in wrestling, and what's your popular wrestler right now. We would love to hear your guys' comments, and like Miguel said, and we can sit down and chit chat, and bring it up. Mondo, we'll give you a special shout out if you. What was that, Armando? Something about Sol Ruka. What was that?
Yeah, if you agree with me,
Oh
I
yeah.
will definitely drop your name in the podcast.
But great question, Mondo, and hopefully we could set up another question next week.
Oh yeah.
That was fun, and I again, a great time to be a wrestling fan. Thank you again for my tag team partners, Miguel, Mondo. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope we get to watch lots of wrestling, and then we get back again for your enjoyment, and we talk about wrestling here on the West Coast Trios Wrestling Podcast. For Mondo and Miguel, this is Tony signing off. Take care, guys.